All right, how's everybody doing? We're going to start actually making some progress on this channel with some gear reviews. We're going to go through maybe the way that I have things set up uniquely for some of my instruments, the way I have things configured, and I figured the best place to start would be with my guitar that's sort of my number one guitar, my go-to for pretty much anything except for real bell sounding clean stuff that you'd get with a Telecaster or a Stratocaster. So with that, let's talk about Frank. I name my guitars, they have masculine names, which is, take that as you may. Do whatever you want with it. But my guitars, I name sort of based on individuals that play those guitars, or the inspiration for the instruments if it's something that I've built myself. This is at this point, pretty much a bone stock 2013 Gibson SG Modern. It is missing the truss rod cover because I'm actually getting a custom one made, and I just had taken it off because I changed the string gauges and just wanted to be able to adjust the truss rod a little bit. I have Ernie Ball Super Slinkies on here right now, which are 10s. I have the unique thing about the Modern, there's two or three unique things. First of all, it has the Steinberger tuners, which were available on a few Gibsons for a while back in the 2000s, 2010 area. They were stock on a Firebird for a little while, and they brought them back and put them on the Modern series, just sort of like a what if it was more of a modernized type guitar. This is a guitar that I actually got in, let's see, 2018, 17. It was overstock from American Musical. It has a rosewood fretboard. It has the pearloid inlays. Does not have neck binding. Also does not have the inlaid flower thing and the Gibson logo. This is like a silk screened thing. So it's not the top quality. It's kind of based on a Gibson SG special, I guess, but beautiful finish. I really like what they did with the finish. It's got a nitrocellulose lacquer finish, but if you look at it from the side, it's really super porous. Really, like, all that grain is kind of sticking out, and it's not, honed to a crazy gloss. It has burst buckers. It has a bridge and neck burst bucker that are these zebra colors. But the interesting thing about this is, and I'll post a video that I made a while back of the internals on this, but the interesting thing is this is all quick disconnect stuff, so you can actually pull all of the electronics out of the guitar without doing any soldering, and then everything just kind of clips back together. EMG does that with their quick connects now. The only thing that's different on this guitar, there's two things that are different. Three things. Okay, so the first thing, I took off the poker chip, the bridge neck switch label there. It was white or cream, and it didn't really make a whole lot of sense with the scheme of the guitar. It also had these buttons, these knobs rather, sort of like a modern knob, and it was were they Cosmo black, I think? So it was just an odd combination of stuff to make it look more modern, I guess. But I really like Strat knobs. I'm a huge fan of Strat knobs, so yes, this is a Gibson SG that actually has Fender Stratocaster tone and volume knobs. The other thing that I did, and I recommend that anybody do this to their guitars, is use a strap lock. So these are just Dunlop strap locks that keep your guitar strap from slapping off while you're in the middle of playing. So that's pretty much it. The other thing that I do with the tailpiece and two-pneumatic bridge type guitars is I overwrap them on the bridge tailpiece. It just keeps the angle going onto the bridge down low. If I was coming out of the bottom of the bridge, so if I was coming out of, let me see if I can get to a way where I can hold this and point at the same time. The holes that the string would actually come out of are way the hell down here. So that would change the number of degrees of that string significantly. And instead of going flat across like this, it would actually come up at probably a 30-degree angle or so. So not really happy with that generally, because I think it just puts a lot of stress on the string itself. And it's just, I don't know, it's just a thing. I had read about it. People do that, so I did it too. Everything else, obviously, the Gibsons are glued-in necks. just pretty standard. This is actually a multi-piece body. I think it's is it a two-piece? You know what, this might be one piece. This might be a one piece, because I am not seeing any glued seams, and I'm not seeing any lack of continuity in the grain. There's that interesting thing right there that seems to be a fairly straight line. So you know what, I'm going to say it's a two-piece. I'm going to say that that line right there pretty much goes straight through. I don't have a line on the other side. And then the other thing is, it's funny, this strap I got in Nashville when I was there for a trip a while back. So anyway, that's my number one, and the next thing that I want to do is plug that into my main amp that I'm using right now, and we'll talk about that. So I'd recommend this SG. Definitely no problems with it. The action is great. The only problem is on the side where they masked it off to do the paint on the neck. That's kind of a sharp transition there from the fretboard to the neck. It just kind of bumps up a little bit, so if you're kind of like, you know, feeling on the side, it just feels a little bit rough. And what they did actually, I figured it out. It took me a little while, but somebody who is right-handed did the finishing on this neck, because this side is a hell of a lot smoother than this side. This side's all rough. Well, if you're left-handed, you're holding the guitar like this, and that's the part that you're feeling right there. So I don't really care too much about this part, but this part's nice and smooth. So good for the right-handed guy who set that up. Quality control issues with Gibson through the mid 2000 teens, but things seem to be getting better. So this was one that was sort of decent before they started going downhill for a few years, and now they're coming back up. So let's see what it sounds like in another video.